we're going to look at how we fit our little strap. So our strap pull to our central zipper panel if we're using faux leather. So if you're using faux leather, you will have a panel that's the full length, and at one end you'll have the two little cutouts. So this is a different construction to the fabric version. So at the end where the cutout is, and it's really important that you get this at the right end, otherwise the whole thing will be back to front. I'm just going to do a line that is 1 inch from the edge. Just going to mark a line on there that's 1 inch from the top edge. So you can see that it's in chalk. So from the end where you've got your little cutouts, you need to do a line that's 1 inch across. 1 inch from the end. Then I'm going to do 2 more little marks on that line. I'm just going to make the marks on that line, not up the entire strap, that are 1/2 inch away from the sides. So I've effectively created a H, a capital H. Now, my sharp craft knife on the inside of that H, so from this point here inwards and from this point here inwards, I'm going to make small cuts on that 1 inch line that are 3/8 of an inch long. Now I know your strap is only 1/4 of an inch, but if you make the cuts 3/8 of an inch, it won't pull. I'm using a ruler to make sure that I get them nicely lined up. I'm just using a really sharp craft knife. I'm just going to make sure that those are cut right through, which they are. I'll pop that away so I don't stab myself. You can get rid of your chalk marks now. And I'm going to take my strap now. This is a triple fold strap, so I have a raw edge. And what I'm going to make sure I have is that my raw edge is actually facing downwards. So when I bend it to get the strap into the position I want the raw edge to be facing towards my panel so that it won't show above. And I'm going to pop the ends of my strap through those little cuts that I've made, making sure that I don't twist it. I'm just going to push them through the cuts about 1/4 of an inch. It's a bit of an approximation. To hold the strap in place so that I know it's not going to go bending, because this is a little bit thicker, I'm just going to pop a clip on either side. Which just secures it in place so that I know it's nice and central and it's where it needs to be. So you can see that that's nicely secured. On the wrong side, you can see I've gone through just about 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm going to do a couple of lines of top stitching across to secure those straps in place. I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch to the outside of the cuts, so it'll go across the faux leather, it'll go across the straps, and then across the straps again. You may find you need to use a hump jumper for this because you're going across a strap. My machine, I know, will go through, but some people you may struggle, so I'm just going to do one back stitch at the beginning. First line of stitching done. I haven't got any straight ends, that's unusual. Usually I've got loads. And then I'm going to do a second line of stitching, which just gives me that added security that my strap's not going to come out. So let's get rid of any stray ends. And at this point, if I've got any extra, and I've got a little bit extra strap there, I'm just going to trim that off. So I know that it's secured with 2 lines of stitching. I can now remove my clips, and my strap is fitted in place perfectly. I love it. Look at those colours. So that's how to fit your strap full on a faux leather zipper panel. You can see I've got 2 lines of stitching that go across there, and you can use a contrast thread, or you can use a thread the same colour as your fabric if you want to. The other alternative, if you didn't want to put stitching across, would be to pop a couple of rivets through just above the where the cut is, and that's perfectly reasonable. However, I would say don't use too big a rivets, because you don't want the rivets to impede on this area, because this is where we're going to be folding and adding our zipper. So it's quite close. Once this is all folded over and the zipper's in situ, your pull straps are actually only about 1/8 of an inch away from the sides of the center panel. So if you use a very big rivet that kind of overlaps where this strap is, you may find that it actually causes a problem when you come to top stitch around your zipper panel. So a small rivet would be okay. I guess 8mm, probably 6mm would even be better, because you're not going through lots and lots of bulk there. It's just to secure that strap in place so that it doesn't come out when you use it. So there we go. And we'll come back and look at how we actually construct our top zipper panel. Now, the construction is exactly the same for faux leather as it is for fabric, with the exception of, on a fabric version, there's a small piece of stiffer interfacing that goes into the centre panel just to stop it from being too flappy. Faux leather tends to have just a little bit more structure. If you feel that your faux leather is really thin and soft and pliable, then you can actually add that to the faux leather one as well if you really want to. It's very much a matter of personal preference. For me, faux leather is stiff enough already, but with fabric, I think it just needs that little bit of extra stabilizer. So I'll be back to show you how to do that shortly.